A Mexican lawyer markets Donald Trump branded toilet paper for what he considers to be a very good cause. A lawyer in central Mexico is taking the fight against President Donald Trump to the toilet, literally. Antonio Battaglia is reportedly planning to launch a Trump-branded toilet paper later this year, with 30% of the profits going toward financing programs that support migrants and Mexicans deported from the U.S. A photograph of the prototype packaging shows a cartoon version of Trump giving a thumbs up alongside the slogan, "Softness without borders." The image was shared online earlier this week and is now going viral. Battaglia told sources that he was initially inspired to release a product that made a stand against Donald Trump following the businessman's insulting comments about Mexicans as he announced his candidacy for the presidency in June of 2015. When Trump said, "When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing in drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people." Battaglia states, "It annoyed me, and I started to look for a way to do something that would have an impact. Not mocking tone or as revenge, but in a positive way." The lawyer said he initially planned to register a clothing or shoe line under the Trump name. His family runs a shoemaking business, but he discovered that Mexico's Institute of Industrial Property had already granted the trademarks to the Trump organization. A wrong number text leads couple to free Stanley Cup tickets. A text message sent to the wrong number led to a Pittsburgh couple scoring free tickets to see the Penguins play against the Nashville Predators in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. KDKA-TV reports. Amy Santora received a text offering 4 tickets to Wednesday night game against the Nashville Predators. She called the number, and the man at the other end said he sent the text to the wrong number. Santora says the man called her back a few minutes later, saying the text intended recipient only wanted 1 set of the tickets. The tickets were priced at $329 apiece, and the man told Santora she could have them for free. Santora and her husband took the man up on his offer, finding seats behind the goalie. As for the mystery texter, Santora says, "Whoever you are, thank you." A shark leaps into an Australian man's fishing boat. A 73-year-old fisherman has had a terrifying brush with death after a white shark weighing over 400 pounds jumped out of the water and into his boat. Terry Selwood from Evans Head, Australia, was fishing at a bank just off the shore over the weekend when he's confronted by the enormous man-eater. He was knocked off his feet by the 8-foot beast, but was able to escape the potentially deadly position after finding himself face-to-face with the shark. Managing to dial in local marine rescue volunteers with his radio, Mr. Selwood was covered in blood with deep lacerations to his right forearm by the time help arrived. The shark came right over the top of the motor and dropped into the floor, Mr. Selwood told News. The shocked fisherman was knocked off the esky he was sitting on and left sprawling on the floor of the boat directly next to the apex predator. There I was on all fours, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and then he started to do the dance around, and he started to shake. I couldn't get out quick enough into the gunwale. I was losing a fair amount of blood. I was stunned, and I couldn't register what happened. And then I thought, oh my God, I've got to get out of here. With his boat only 12 feet long, Mr. Selwood said there wasn't much room for him to escape. Caught below ropes, buckets, and other fishing equipment, the shark soon stopped thrashing. Marine rescue worker Lance Fountain said Mr. Selwood was quite shooken up by the time first responders arrived at his boat. One cut was so deep, a slice of some sort, so it was possibly from the shark's teeth. But other injuries were mainly from his struggle to get up onto his feet, Mr. Fountain told News. A shark that size has incredible power, and it was thrashing around. He said he thought it was going to break his legs as it was hitting him that hard, so he put his arms down to protect his legs, and that's when they got cut up. A fishing veteran who first cast a line some 6 decades ago, Mr. Selwood said he had never seen anything like it before and that the incident would not stop him from fishing. I think next time I might find a crocodile to wrestle, just to stay in the limelight, he joked. The conditions were calm, and Mr. Selwood said there were no surface fish or any clear reason why the shark would breach. I was using 2 little bits of blue pilchard to fish for snapper on the bottom of the ocean, but that line was straight under the boat, not out to the back where the shark came from. For some unknown reason, he just launched himself out of the water, and he must have come up at least 4 feet out of the water to clear my motorboat, and he dropped straight into the boat. The Department of Primary Industries said the shark was a great white and was removed from the boat with a forklift and taken for autopsy to confirm its age and gender. The following story contains a few graphic images. Ex-MMA star War Machine is sentenced to life in jail for kidnapping and sexually assaulting his porn star ex-girlfriend. He will spend the rest of his life behind bars for his brutal beatdown of the ex-girlfriend. The former MMA fighter, real name John Copenhaver, was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 36 years for his brutal attack on his ex-girlfriend, Christy Mack. He was found guilty of multiple counts of sexual assault with a deadly weapon resulting in substantial body harm and first-degree kidnapping with the use of a deadly weapon resulting in substantial body harm. Radar reported Mack claimed that her ex-boyfriend walked in on her and another man named Corey Thomas on August 8, 2014. The MMA fighter then began to attack. Without a single word, he began beating my friend. Once he was finished, he sent my friend away and turned his attention to me, Mack said. He made me undress and shower in front of him, then he dragged me out and beat my face. He sexually assaulted her, beat her, and then sawed her hair off with a knife. She had a broken nose, broken bones around her eyes and cheeks, and numerous other injuries. He released a lengthy statement on Twitter after he was convicted, saying, "Well, that didn't go very well, now did it? Would you believe me, though, if I said that I have nothing but joy inside, even now as I'm sure to receive some type of life sentence," he wrote. Now, he's since changed his mind. After his conviction, after his sentencing, he says, "Now if only I could somehow receive Christy's forgiveness, and if I could only one day hear that she too has been saved, that would remove every last bit of tarnish from this tragedy." In a letter he wrote to Christy, he said, "Christy, I am sorry for the man that I was. I'm sorry for hurting you. One day, when enough time has passed, and when your wounds are fully healed, I hope that you will write to me, or perhaps even visit me, so that I can apologize completely, and so I can tell you about all that I have found in regards to God. He is real and can heal and complete you deep inside. If only you knew the full extent to which He has healed me." At one point during the incident, he stood over her and said, "Well, this is it. I've got to kill you now." She said she drifted in and out of consciousness as she was being beaten, kicked, and groped. Mack claimed that she escaped when she finally thought that Copenhaver was in the kitchen finding a knife to finish her off. She ran naked and bleeding to a neighbor's house. The fighter was arrested in a Los Angeles suburb of Simi Valley a week after the attack, which happened in Las Vegas. He originally pled not guilty to the 34 charges. Mack met the fighter in spring of 2013, at which point she was already a well-established name in the adult film industry. Copenhaver had dabbled in working in pornography by the time they had met. They began dating a short time after, and in January 2014, they appeared nude together in a Hustler magazine. The relationship lasted about a year, but Mack told sources War Machine became abusive about 4 months in. "I do know when he gets out, he will kill me," she said while delivering her victim impact statement. But in his statement, he said he regrets everything. "Not a day goes by that I don't seriously regret all those things that I did. I was very, very lost, very empty person. And to top it off, something's not right with my head, plain and simple. I've known that for a long time, and I've hated it. I hated the way that I think. I've hated my impulses. Half the time I don't know why I do some of the things I do, and some of the times I do things and I don't even feel like I did them at all until it's already done." The California native blamed anxiety, depression, and self-pity for his problems. Copenhaver said he would stand in front of a mirror and smash his face with his fist until his face was swollen and bloody.